Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Ooh. Welcome to episode 8
Whatchu?
of Girl, What You Think? That wasn't too.
That was kind of like the last time.
I know.
I
Okay,
think.
well. What?
I just thought that you naturally do that riff. I don't know what I'm saying.
I'm not a huge riffer. I could beat Selena Gomez, though. Shout out to our friend that said I couldn't.
Yeah.
You know
Selena
who you
Gomez could
You
not
don't watch our thing, though.
go toe-to-toe with you for sure.
No. Anywho, today we're talking about gossip.
Not just gossip.
Yeah, well, gossip versus talking crap. What is the difference? I think there's an ant on me. Sorry.
Like I'm filming from underground.
What is the difference? Is there a difference? And this suggestion was brought to us by one of our listeners.
Yes, a dear friend of mine.
So we're just going to jump right into it.
Besito. Okay. Anyway.
So, well, one thing Angela and I do agree on is that everybody gossips. And if you say you don't, you're a liar.
Even the Pope gossips, I think.
Sure. I think, yeah. Because gossip, that's part of it. I think gossip doesn't necessarily have to be negative. I think gossip is just talking about somebody else that's not you.
So you think if you just say, like, oh my God.
Like, if I were to tell you, like, oh my God, like, the other day I was hanging out with so-and-so and she told me this great news that she is getting married. To me, that's, like, slightly gossip because it's, like...
She didn't tell you herself?
Right. But that's not a negative thing.
Then why is it said in the Bible that it's a sin to gossip?
I don't know.
I feel like gossiping has well, I don't go to church, but the one time I did, it was when my cousin was getting baptized. The lesson of that mass was
about gossiping.
Someone who gossiped about someone's garden, I think, and then their garden started to fail. Something about a beanstalk. I don't know. I just know that gossiping is like frowned upon. But
I think also that's because people automatically associate gossiping with being negative.
Yeah, and then 20 minutes before
because what is the
pastor started talking about gossiping, he was like, just so you guys know, like, dressing to church, you need to dress appropriately. Like, please don't have your skirt above your knee. Like, he was roasting everyone. To me, that's gossip.
I don't know if that's necessarily gossip. I think that's just like, that's being like...
Well, I feel like there was
like
gossip
people
that led
out
up to that.
Oh, probably. But I think, because what is the difference between gossip and just talking about somebody? It's not really. It's the same thing.
Gossip it's just, I think, talking shit.
Yeah. If you talk badly about somebody, like, I think gossip is like the overarching term. But you could have good gossip and then bad gossip, which bad would be like, oh my God, did you hear that dumb bitch did the other day or whatever? But then good would be like, oh my God, I hung out with so-and-so yesterday and she's telling me all about her wedding and her dress and blah, 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 blah. So that's my theory.
Okay, I agree with you. I want to bring up a scenario of like where people can determine the difference maybe between gossip and talking shit. So let's say like, a fictional character, her name is Sarah.
Mm-hmm.
This is gossip. Did you hear that Sarah is pregnant? That could be good or bad. And then you proceed to say she's a slut or something. That's talking shit. When you like put your opinion to it and it's negative and it's rooted in your own insecurity. That's talking shit.
Yeah.
Because have you ever been around someone who just talks shit about somebody just because they don't like them?
Yes.
Like, they didn't do anything. They're just like, I hate them. They breathe, and they're like, God, she's such a dumbass.
I guess. I feel like I probably could have been that person at times.
So like, is the news gossip?
Like CNN news or like E news?
CNN.
No. Well, I guess to an extent, if that's the overarching term you're going to use. Theirs is more like, because I do think, like I agree with you when you said, like talking crap about somebody is when you add in your own feelings. Like, because if they did something negative and you're like, I don't like them because they did this, this, and this, that's not talking crap. That's a fact. That's what they did.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're like, if you don't really have a reason to not like somebody, or I don't know, like, I don't know how to describe it. Because I think, like, if I'm to say, like, oh, I don't like you, like, if somebody asked me, like, hey, do you not like me? I try to have the mindset of, okay, I'm not going to say anything to somebody else that I wouldn't say to that person.
Ugh, that's a good one.
It's like,
have you ever had someone that you know you don't like say like, oh my God, I thought that you didn't like me. And then you lie and be like, no, I don't not like you. But like you kind of don't like them?
No. Because I also don't make myself, it's not that I'm not friendly to people I don't like, I'm just cordial. So I guess I'm not friendly, I'm cordial. So I think they can automatically tell that I don't like them. Because it's not like, I'm like, hey girl, what's up? I'm just like, hey.
To everybody?
No. Well, at first, I guess, and then when I get to know you, then I decide, do I like you or do I not like you?
Mm.
I'm not going to be rude to you or disrespectful to you if I don't like you, but I'm just not going to be your friend.
We're all victims of gossiping, talking shit. Oh yeah. I had a scenario one time, and I don't know if this is like gossip or talking shit, but this was my situation. We were in a musical together, and there were two leads, and one of the leads asked me if they were prettier than the other lead, which is like kind of setting me up in a position to talk shit about the other person to make that person in front of me feel better. Mm. So you want to put someone else down to make you feel better. Why? You know? Mm-hmm. Like, why do you want me to tell you that you're prettier than her? So there's something deeper there. But also, I told her no. I said, jeez. And I felt so bad because, I mean, like in the girl world or whatever, you're not supposed to do that. I mean, I think it's like a girl code thing. Not always, but I mean, if someone asks you, like, let's say your ex starts dating another girl and then your friend is like, hey, am I prettier than her? Usually, you know, it's like a friendly thing to do. It may be the truth.
No, you mean, yes, I am prettier than her.
You say, yes, you're prettier than her. But I didn't that time. I said, well, conventionally, this girl was
pretty?
Like, she was in beauty pageants and she was like literally gonna be Miss California or something. And the other girl,
that girl set you up. Beautiful.
She set me up. And I wasn't gonna fall for it. And I feel like such a bad person because this is a weird situation. Because I'm the asshole. Because I was like, I mean, she asked me, am I prettier than this girl who was literally gonna be Miss California? And I said, no, you're not prettier than her. That's so mean.
But also, It's like, why did she have to ask you that? Like, she didn't have to ask you that question.
Yeah, and she was really upset with me over that. Really upset with me. And I felt
so funny.
I felt so bad because, I mean, that was my own biases towards women that I didn't want to be a part of, you know? Like women being competitive against one another. Like I'm trying to break that mold, you know? Break that idea of like this girl's prettier because she's skinnier, or this girl's prettier because she can do her makeup a certain way, you know? And so I was a product of what I hated in that moment too. And so me and her had a really good conversation about it, and I was like, I don't know why I said that.
That's so hard because what were you, if you had said yes,
well, your microphone,
then she would have.
Okay, there. Yeah, if I would have said yes,
if
she
you
would have
had
got
said
like
yes,
a boost.
Right. And then what if she went and told that other girl, like, hey, Angela said I'm prettier than you. And then that other girl's going to be mad at you. So it's a lose-lose situation.
It's a lose-lose situation.
At least you were honest, though. Like, but also by saying, like, she's not prettier than you, that doesn't mean you're ugly. That's like, I like carrots better than celery, but that doesn't mean I don't like celery.
I said conventionally in the society we live in, and her record of
winning beauty pageants,
literally being in beauty pageants and winning, it's like some may say that she's prettier. And then I was like, but you are so stunning too. I was like, it's different. It's a different. And I was like, we had a conversation afterwards. I said, I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry. I should have right off the bat said, like, I think that she's beautiful and you're beautiful in your own way.
But then if you were to say that, people would have been like, that's a cop-out answer. If that was me, I would have been like, oh, she's just trying to get out of it.
Yeah, and then that's me saying, like, no.
Again. So it's a lose-lose situation. That girl wanted to start something with you.
Yeah, and I brought it up. I said, so what did you want me to say? Did you want me to say that you were prettier than her so you could put another girl down too? Like, you wanted me to make you feel better in that moment? I was like, so what is this insecurity about? Like, why are you so insecure that you need to compare yourself to someone else? And I've done it before. I've showed someone a picture and been like, am I prettier than her? I've done it. So I get it. But I was also like, why do we do that? I don't know if that falls into gossip and shit talking, but it goes into like how.
I mean, it could have started. It could have started that. Like her asking that question was like the catalyst to be starting something like that.
Yeah, and then she brought up like, oh, I just feel like I'm always in competition. Like, I'm right at the cusp of like not being skinny enough, or not being pretty enough, or not being this enough. And she was like, and she's just like she was like, could you imagine somebody was put into a role where they look just like you, but like a prettier version of you, and everyone gave them all the attention? And I was like, yeah, but she can't be you either. Like, you have certain things that she doesn't. I'm sure her life isn't some amazing beauty pageant, you know? Like, you have so many great things too. Why do you have to put her down because she has the life that she has?
Right.
So it was a big conversation, and how we like how people bring up gossip. So let me sanitize my hands in my room. But I felt bad because I straight up said no.
That's hilarious.
It's funny, but in the moment I was scared. I said, why did I say that?
I don't know.
I feel like sometimes people gotta hear what they gotta hear. But that's not the
Sometimes, yeah. But also at the same time,
what's the bigger question? Are you insecure about something? Someone needs to tell you that you're beautiful because you are, you know?
Yeah. But also at the same time, like, you and I had a situation recently where I was showing you somebody. I I didn't ask, is she prettier than me? I just asked, like, do you think she's pretty?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you and then the other person that was there, you both were like, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you were honest about that. I guess it is a different phrasing of me saying, do you think she's prettier than me versus do you think she's pretty?
Yeah.
But it's still like you were honest with me because it sort of went along with the whole like what you said earlier about like, oh, if your friend asks you like about her ex-boyfriend's new girlfriend or whatever.
Would you be honest every time? I feel like I would be honest.
I would too, but I think it's hard when they phrase the question like about themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because I know I didn't say that. Like, I just said, like, do you think she's pretty?
Right, because that just makes
then
it
that's
about
like,
them.
Right. But when it's about you, then it's like, it's hard to say, like, yes or no.
I think a good way to go about that is just being like, why do you have to compare yourself?
Yeah, like, well, yeah.
And I feel like society's progressing in that way to where we are getting better at being more secure in who we are. Because bitch, you can't change who you are.
No.
You can get plastic surgery, you can do other things, but it's like,
but at the core, you're still gonna be the same.
You look.
And that's why. I mean, I think. It's like it's like some people, there's like a big movement of self-acceptance, but then there's also the people who will either anonymously or not, like, talk crap about you to your face, like saying you're ugly and all this stuff, and it's like, why are you doing, like, why you know what I'm saying, like,
yeah,
why do I need to go around being like, ugh, that person's ugly, but like, why do I need to say that to you? Like, if I was like, oh my god, Angela's so ugly, like, why would I say that to you? How does that make my life any better? It doesn't.
Ego,
I guess, but even it's not like
I'm
you're
not
gonna be
saying
like, yeah, you're right.
I know. What am I supposed to do in that situation?
Right. So I don't know, but I still abide by the rule of like, or I try to, of like, I'm not gonna say anything that I wouldn't say to your face. Like,
yeah.
If I don't like you because you did something that either doesn't go with my morals or values, or I just don't agree with, I'll let you know that. I'm not going to just go up to you just out of the blue and be like, you did this and I don't like you because of it. But if you ask me or have a feeling like, oh, I don't like you, and you ask me like, hey, like, are we friends, blah, 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 like, I will tell you, like, you know what, I'm not the biggest fan of you because of this, this, and this.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I try to base my gossip on when I talk about other people, is like, they did this, so that's why I don't like them. Not just, ew, they're ugly and they're dumb and I hate them.
Yeah, I feel like my life is more fulfilling and peaceful when I am not worried about other people in that way. Social media really does take over a lot of our perceptions of each other, and I judge my body a lot because of social media, and I think that social media is like a big trigger for a lot of gossiping and shit talking, and I don't know where I was going with this.
That's just what it is.
I think that everybody gossips. Everybody's been a victim of it. People.
I like to gossip. I like talking about people. Again,
talking about boys with each other. Like, that's literally all we do when we're alone.
Yes.
We just talk about, like, who do you think's cute?
I love talking about other people. And it's not necessarily it's like in a very analytical way. Like, you and I talk about people and we're like, why do you think they did this? Or why do you think they did that?
Mm-hmm.
We try to figure out the reason behind it. And I do that with a lot of my friends. So it's not really just talking about people to talk about people. It's like to dive in deeper, like to the reason why they did that certain thing. Even if it wasn't like it hurt my feelings or it was bad. It was just like, why did they do that certain thing? Or like, why did they choose to say that or whatever? Because it's interesting. It's interesting how people work. Sociology. I should have been a sociology major. I love stuff like that.
It's never too late.
Listening to, girl, no.
I don't want to be in school anymore.
But like listening to people, analyzing what they do. So anybody who knows me knows I love talking about people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's like, it's easier to gossip and shit talk if it's more justified too, because you can shit talk about Trump and people who deserve to be shit talked about. But then, like, when we talk about gossip, we automatically think of like our peers and people that we like in our everyday life. But then there's some things that are socially acceptable to gossip about. Like what?
Right. But even then with him, like with our president, it's like we're not just like, we don't like him because he's orange. It's like, we don't like him because he said this and he wants to kill everyone. Like, you know, like, it's not, even then, it's like, those are things he did or said. So it's like, is that really talking crap about somebody? Or is it like, you did this, you said this. Mm-hmm. So you can't say I'm talking crap, I'm telling the truth. I'm telling a fact.
Yeah, and I feel like humans have reached a point in our survival to where we don't really need to hunt and gather anymore. We seek, this is real sociology, but we seek ways to entertain ourselves because we're bored and we don't want to face our inevitable deaths. So to entertain ourselves, we either watch TV, we go to school, we work, we get wrapped up in politics and things that entertain us. And a part of that, I think, is gossiping and shit talking and trying to see who's better than someone else, because that's kind of how we survive now, because we don't have to like make our own clothes like we used to, you know? It's just like we've evolved to this point. Is it a good thing to gossip? I feel like a lot of good friendships happen from gossiping. I love gossiping.
Because that's how you and I became friends. We gossiped. Yeah. We gossiped about our parents and how we had very similar upbringing. So is that gossiping, or is that just talking about your childhood? Because you're talking about what somebody did to you.
And personally, I don't really enjoy shit talking people. There's some times where it could be justified, because I like what you said about you saying things that you wouldn't say to someone's face. Or you say things that you would say to someone's face.
Yeah, I try to abide by that rule.
Right. And so I respect that, and I try to do that too for the most part. But sometimes
you just gotta let it out and you're pissed.
Yeah. Because there's some people you can't really talk like that to. Like there's an elder or there's like a professor. Like you can't go up there.
Yeah, I don't really care about that though. I'm not a huge respect your elders person. I mean, like, I don't really care what age you are. If you don't respect me, I'm not going to respect you. So I'm not like, just because you're old, I'm not going to respect you just because you're old.
Yeah, that's something that I've seen become more of a discussion. That's hard for me to do. It's hard for me to, like, disrespect elders that are related to me. Not that I go around kicking elderly people or talking shit. It's just like, I'm not going to say certain things to my grandparents, even if they have certain views. I only have one grandparent left anyway. Yeah, shit talking. We've all done it. We've all been in sticky situations to where it comes back around to ya. But just
that's why I think that rule is good. Of like, don't say anything you wouldn't like say to their face, because if it does get back to them of like, you said this about me, it's like, yeah, I did, and I would say it to your face.
But rule number 1 about gossiping or shit talking is be real. If that's what you think,
that's what you think.
before you vocalize it, really try to think of like, could I say this to someone? Or is this really how I feel? Just think before you speak.
Right.
Because some
people
people
really how I feel, or am I just pissed?
Mm-hmm. And sometimes you can trust somebody. Like, you're someone that I can trust to be like saying how I feel if I'm angry about something. But like, once I calm down and come to my senses, I'm like, okay, like it's not that bad. You know?
Yeah.
So we're human. It's a very human thing to do.
No judgment if you talk crap. I do judge if you say you don't, though, because I'm like, you're lying.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you've literally never said anything mean about somebody else. I don't believe you.
And it doesn't even have to be mean just out of spite. It could be mean because like they did something bad. Or you don't think they're a good person to your set of values. Because everybody's different. You can't expect one person to be like, I accept everyone equally. Girl, no, you don't. You don't. Mm-hmm. Because let's bring every single person in the world. Oh, you like cannibals? You're going to talk shit about cannibals, Tiffany? Whatever. See, I'm talking shit about an imaginary person.
Well, that was a good. It was a quick chat, but it was informative, I think.
I hope people can understand what we're trying to say.
Yeah, and if you gossip, keep gossiping, because gossip isn't necessarily a negative word.
True.
Tell us what you think the difference is. We'll post something. I need to be better at that.
Do you think that there's a difference that all gossip and shit talking is in the same field? We'll put it on our Instagram being like, how do you feel about gossip? Mm-hmm. And if anyone's like, I never do it, we're gonna call them out.
Yeah.
Just kidding. We probably won't. Be like, thank you for listening.
Well, we'll see you guys next week with...
Did you hear my brother? Come in, Isaac. Isaac, come in. He said he's going to go to the bathroom.
We were going to meet the elusive Isaac, everyone.
Dominic.
Well, I'm not going to say what we're going to talk about next week because we don't necessarily know.
Yeah, it's a gamble. We're going to start bringing people on slowly but surely.
We do have our first guest star lined up. Isaac.
Trying to dodge the big ass monitor. Isaac, do you ever gossip about people at school? Do you ever gossip or talk crap? He's gone. Be careful, my bed's on like one piece of wood right now. Okay. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week.
Yes. Bye. Thank you, Isaac.
Riff us out.
Yeah, Whatchu. I was not a riff, but
okay,
I wasn't in it.
We gonna end.